So, Madam Chairman, fellow Toastmasters and guests, the title of my speech tonight is Toastmasters, What's in it for you? I joined Toastmasters over 20 years ago to gain self-confidence. I wanted to be able to present my ideas to a group without clamming up and without getting all flustered. I've benefited from belonging to Toastmasters over the years, and I would like to share those benefits with you by encouraging you to become a member, encouraging you to join our club. So Pat Bennett and Joanne Hope came to Dunster one day over 20 years ago, and I was impressed. They just came in the room, they stood in the center of the room, and they told people about Toastmasters. And I thought, I want some of that. I want some of that confidence. My heart used to race, and my vocal cords would get constricted, I would forget to breathe, just at the thought of getting up to speak in public. I never used to look at people when I would speak to them. I would look over their heads, and it would just be a crowd. And the more I would look over their heads, the more nervous I would get. So looking directly at people was one of the things that has benefited me most from joining Toastmasters, because it's no longer about speaking to a crowd. It's about talking to an individual that just happens to be sitting with other individuals. And that has made all the world of difference for me. So Toastmasters is a self-directed program, and that means that Toastmasters International supplies you with the material that will help you to learn how to be a better speaker. And they've been doing this for over 80 years. And they've been supplying people with material for over 4 million people have been members of Toastmasters in almost every country of the world. So they're pretty good at it. They come up with some good products. But it's you that's in control of your learning, and it's you that decides when and if you're going to get up and speak. And usually people are encouraged to get up when they feel comfortable with doing so. And I think that makes a big difference in how people learn. And the other thing about Toastmasters is that we're all learners. There's no experts here. We're all learning. We're all maybe at a different pace, but there's no experts. We help each other. We learn from each other, and we give evaluations when someone speaks. We have someone who listens and gives them pointers back the next. So we learn by our evaluations from our fellow club members. And of course, the meetings are designed to be fun. And we learn the different meeting roles by participating and doing the other meeting roles. The other thing, we've just had some table topics. The other thing that's fun about table topics about Toastmasters is table topics. It's the fact that we ask each other questions and then get up and answer them. And that teaches us to speak off the cuff and to speak to a timeline as well, so that one person just doesn't, because we time our talks, one person doesn't get up and monopolize the time of the group. But neither can you not participate. Once you've said you're going to get up and talk, you try to use some of that time so that you're the one that's contributing. I know people who have enjoyed doing table topics so much that they have taught it to their grandchildren, so that when they're visiting, they can elicit more information from their grandchildren. It creates a different dynamic than just, and perhaps you can do it with your kids as well. So rather than just, how was school today, you come up with a question that's going to bring out more than a, yeah, fine, one-word answer, right? So we have manuals that help us to learn to organize our thoughts when we actually do the speeches. For manuals for the prepared speeches, and we have 10 speeches in the first manual that we get, and the different subjects will be like to organize your thoughts, or to speak on something that you're passionate about, or perhaps how to use vocal variety so that you don't drone on and bore your audience to death. So Toastmasters has a myriad of educational materials available. I brought a few here today. There's effective evaluation, how your gestures, how your body speaks, your speaking voice, I was just talking about, the Toastmasters magazine we get every month. Tune up your table topics. And of course, the communications manual. So we get a wealth of educational material that's been well thought out by Toastmasters to help us in our quest for becoming more confident with our public speaking. So Toastmasters helps develop confidence when speaking in front of groups. It helps develop confidence when speaking off the cuff. It's great for learning how to conduct meetings and helps develop your leadership skills. And it's a bargain. It costs about $10 a month. The value that you get, I think is just incredible. It's like having a cup of coffee. It's really, it's a good value. The meetings are fun, and the atmosphere is friendly, and it's a great place to learn. So how about it? How would you like to join our club? How would you like to make March the month when you became a member of Toastmasters? Madam Chairman. Sure.
We're here with Loretta and Yolanda, longtime members of the Robson Valley Toastmasters. We attended a meeting tonight. I want to ask you, Loretta, if you can tell me, what's the real benefit for someone to join the Toastmasters?
Oh, I think it's definitely the confidence that it helps to bring out in you. Definitely. That's what it was for me anyway. It's an increase in confidence.
Okay. And you've been a member for how long?
Well, a long time. 20 years, I think, yes.
And what kind of changes did you see in yourself?
I think I'm way more likely to speak in public than I ever was before. Like before I joined Toastmasters, I'd just deliberately not do it because of the way it made me feel, made my body feel. I just would get too nervous, I think, to want to put myself through that. And now I actually get up and say what's on my mind. And I feel way more comfortable doing that too.
And Yolanda, how long have you been a member?
About 7 years.
Okay. And what prompted you to join Toastmasters?
Well, it was a kind of a continuation in my former career before I retired. I was a speaker, an informative speaker. And when I came to Valemount, as I retired, I was invited. Why don't you come and join? I didn't even know about Toastmasters. And I came and I stayed for 7 years, and I really, really enjoyed it. It did not give me what it gave Loretta because I was already kind of seasoned due to my work before. But it gave me a continuation in what I like very, very much. It's communication and talk to people and yes, and open up a world to other people that would need that help.
So what does Toastmasters teach you besides confidence?
It teaches meeting roles, so we all take turns being president or vice president of membership or vice president of education, designing the things that we can help the club, different members education-wise. Right now I'm treasurer, so I keep track of the little bit of money that we have, and we take leadership training with Toastmasters twice a year to learn what our roles are in the club. I was area governor and went to other clubs and did what I could to help them in liaise with Toastmasters International, and went to leadership training in that role in the Lower Mainland. So there was those kind of opportunities with Toastmasters. And of course the international speech contests, where you hear people who are, I would say, really dedicated to improving their speaking abilities. And I think what I thought about the international speech contests was they use way more emotion. They really incorporate using emotion in their speeches, more so than we have practiced here, I think. But it makes for really good speeches, definitely. So perhaps if we were more exposed to that
Larger
type of speech,
audiences, yes.
the larger audiences,
Yeah.
and more speakers, we would that would bring out the emotional content in us as well.
So let me ask you, Robson Valley Toastmasters has been around for how many years? Do you know the history?
Must be around 25 years.
5 years. And it's part of Toastmasters International. It seems kind of odd that a small town like this would have it, but I imagine there are many clubs, many chapters throughout the world. What do you think someone sitting at home interested in this, why should they want to come out? What's the real benefit of becoming a member?
I think it's the intelligent conversation. I think we learn a lot from each other. And when we do table topics and we ask each other questions, probably scratch a little bit farther down than into people's motivations, I think, sometimes.
Right.
And if you have to talk for 1 to 2 minutes on a subject, sometimes you have to elaborate a lot more than you might in just a normal day-to-day conversation. And then when people do speeches and they talk for maybe 5 or 7 minutes, they again really elaborate on a lot of subjects. And I've learned a lot of things over the years from people just giving speeches about what they know. So it's been really interesting.
I think one of the universal fears of people, one of their greatest fears, is speaking in public. How long does it take a new member to start to overcome that and be more comfortable speaking publicly?
How long would it take? It didn't take me long, because I'm an outgoing person and I am not afraid to open my mouth and just say what I think. But yeah, it could. People get a little intimidated when they see eyes on yourself and people expecting or waiting for something that you would say, or an opinion and so. But all this it should not be so overwhelming, because we are all people, we all have ideas, we all have this sense of communication, or this want of communication with other people. And this is a great opportunity to learn maybe, or to develop what you already have.
Yeah. So one of the things that encouraged me to give the speech I did tonight was watching a YouTube video just recently where the fellow said, how long does it take to learn a new skill? And he said 20 hours. And he proved it by playing the ukulele and saying that this is his completion of his 20th hour of learning to play the ukulele. And I thought the points that he made were quite valid, that if you were to practice any skill for 20 hours, you're going to get pretty good at it if you have any aptitude at all. Just imagine that you go out on the ice with, assuming you know how to skate already, if you go out on the ice with a puck and a hockey stick and just bang it around for 20 hours, pretty soon you're going to be able to get that puck in the net, just from the amount of practicing that you do. So he made the point of, after so many hours, you learn to self-correct. And this is basically, I think, what Toastmasters is all about, is you're given the tools, and just by practicing it, you learn to correct yourself. It's not about other people teaching you something. It's about you teaching yourself. So 20 hours probably you'd get to be a fairly good speaker, I think.
Yeah, and it gives you self-confidence. This fear of who am I to say my opinion? Why am I supposed to do this or to do that? It gives you self-confidence just to go out there and do it.
So let's talk, this is, as we're doing here tonight, March is Robson Valley Toastmaster Membership Month. So for somebody who's interested, what is the cost? How often do you have the meetings? And what else do they need to know?
So right now, the cost is $100 a year plus $20 to join. And I understand our membership is going to be going up in price to $120 a year and $20. But that won't happen till next October. So right now, for half a year would be $50 plus $20 to start the new membership for the paperwork that it takes. And how much? I forgot.
How often do you meet?
We meet twice a month, the first and the third Tuesdays here at the Bear's Den in the Best Western Hotel. Tuesday, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock.
And so for the membership, what does someone get other than attending the meetings? Are there some handouts? Are there some training materials?
Yes, we get, first of all, we get the Toastmasters magazine, which is
Excellent magazine. Excellent. Mm-hmm.
And it usually has 3 or 4 articles and then some interesting anecdotes and about public speaking or just communication in general. Really, it's usually
about other clubs all over the world. We are not just Valemount.
Right.
You know.
Communication in general. I think
Yeah.
Toastmasters is more about communication a lot of times than speaking in public. It's a lot about learning how to listen to other people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here is my challenge to you as seasoned Toastmaster members. You have 15 seconds each to explain to someone why they should, this month, in March, join Toastmasters, Robson Valley Toastmasters. Loretta, go.
I would just say, you wanna.
Wow, that's really good. That was less than 5 seconds. Yolanda.
Do I have more time now?
You have 15 seconds. Over.
15 seconds. Well, if you're looking for friendship, if you're looking for fun, if you're looking to do something that is different and very, very pleasing, then come and join us, because this is the place to be.